Good evening, everyone. Yeah. So, how about we start with a few points first? Yes, do look tonight. I just noticed some weird points of it. Comes through. Welcome to the, well, what do we call it? The lazy ascension. I am so goddamn tired that we have, Udin, Fenrir, and I have fused in a semi-ascension mode. Oh, yeah. I'm so low energy, and they're being limited by that we have fused. As one would expect. Oh. This is a new model. Realize some of the kinks now that I see it in action on screen. Yeah. Anyway. Rain. Gonna... Actually, give me another minute to set up. Alright, and the back. Now, new model. It's my old hoodie. Slightly longer than I remember. It actually kind of looks more like a smock. More like a smock. Oh, right. Yeah, I got Fenrir's eye and Odin's eye, and different highlights. To change up the vibe with whole semi-transcension. Oh, ascension. Hello. More Persona tonight. I'm gonna do an hour or two today. As I said, I only made this model to be a visual representation of just how tired and messy I am. Means, yeah, I'm tired and lazy. I mean, it now, there's two hairs clipped right into each other and it's pissing off now. I will fix that later. I can. Alright. Jump right in, let's jump right in. Jump in. Oh god, last night's stream. And this was happening at Nanatari's hospital ward. Snow has begun to fall, but the fog won't disappear. What lies ahead from here on? I feel very tired. Yeah. This...
Welcome. It's been quite some time.
Seems you've been summoned to the Velvet Room for the first time in ages.
Do not be alarmed. You are fast asleep in the real world. I have summoned you within your dreams. Now then, your journey has taken you quite a distance thus far.
Could have prematurely ended.
Do you believe you'll be able to successfully solve this mystery? Splendid!
Solving it's not an issue.
The precise destination of this vehicle, that too is getting rather hard to judge. If we continue driving blindly, we may end up leading you further away from the mystery that you must reach. Well, why don't we take a moment to look back on your journey?
Interesting he puts it that way, though. Think about it. We can take you further away from the mystery you seek, implying that this is not the mystery we were meant to find.
It was for that purpose that I summoned you here tonight.
And I'm not talking about the Velvet Room, I mean the murder mystery is a vehicle to another mystery.
Margaret?
That's an implication. Voices you've heard many times echo in your mind.
Yeah, well, I quit pretending.
You're the only one who didn't pay attention to the rumors flying around about me. You saw me as I am.
What's right? What you should choose to do in life? The answers to those things lie within you.
You gave me the opportunity to start walking.
I'm going to think about my life and set my own path.
We are experiencing the words engraved into your memory during your journey.
These are all the social links that I maxed out.
Failing to understand and failing to listen are rather different things.
All right, let's go ahead and think this through as much as we need.
If we leave any unanswered questions behind, we'll just be lying to ourselves.
I'll think as hard as I can and try to help.
Come on, we've accomplished this much together, haven't we?
Right, together.
And it seems you have comrades with you as well. Those heading in the same direction through this dense fog.
Car stopped moving.
We'll be parked for the moment while I confirm our current heading.
As I mentioned previously, this year will signal a great change in your life. Though there isn't much time left, it can be worth your while to take the time to stop and reflect.
People are like water flowing in a river. There is only one stream, but all who pass through it are affected differently. Some travel fast, some change their course, experiencing countless events as they travel down the river of time.
Just so. The state of this room reflects the scenery of your heart.
Another quick fun fact, well, a sad fact. In Japan, the Eagle was the, I believe in English, Eagle's lines were re-recorded, but Eagle has no additional lines in this game compared to the normal version of Persona 4. Because in Japan, Eagle's voice actor had passed away before this came out. And I mean, like, before production of Persona 4 Golden back on the PS Vita. It's sad.
Perhaps this may be a time for contemplation rather than action.
Here's something in the distance. Doorbell. Sunday. Seems you have been sleeping until now. Hear the doorbell ringing. Someone seems to be at the door.
Teddy's missing.
Yeah.
I looked all over the neighborhood, but I couldn't find him anywhere.
Worried.
Yeah, me too. He was acting all weird lately. Rise and the others are checking inside the TV to see if he's gone back to the other side. We're meeting pretty soon, so will you come with me to Jeunesse?
Yeah, let's go. Where could have Teddy gone? In any case, she decided to go looking for him. Teddy's on a quest of... whatever. Metaphysical identity.
It's no use, man. We can't find him.
No luck for me either. I didn't sense anything over there. The fog's so dense it might be affecting my readings. I wish I could do better. I'm sorry.
Ted. Don't tell me he really went back to his world this time. We told him over and over that he could stay here.
Yeah, but he took Nanako's death real hard, and while Nanako did come back, Teddy didn't even witness it. Maybe a time for contemplation rather than action. That's what Igor said, but... think about this.
I guess that's all we can do right now. He plays dumb a lot, but he's attached to us deep down. He wouldn't disappear without saying anything, right?
Yeah?
I'm worried for Teddy myself, but let's trust in him and await his return. Right now, we must concentrate on the case. It won't be long before Namatame is transferred to another location. We must hurry, or we will miss our only chance to get his perspective on this.
Yeah.
You know, I've been thinking about the case since, but something just doesn't seem right.
Let's quickly review the facts. Of all the victims, only 2 were killed, Miss Yamano the announcer and Saki-san. From the documents we found in the car, we know Namatame had some sort of dealings with them. After that, there were multiple attempted murders in which we were targeted.
Yeah.
It was only when he took Nanako-chan that we caught him in the act, identifying his modus operandi in the process.
When I hear you put it like that, sounds like the dude's guilty.
Yes, but much like putting it on Mitsuo, doesn't... You can see them doing it, but you can't help but the nudging weird things. The letter, big one, didn't follow his way of his usage of saving, even if it meant kill. Why change it in written form? Especially because he was carrying a journal. He was clearly writing everything before saying it, and if you're doing this, you're not telling anyone what you're doing.
As a result of Namatame's arrest, the police admitted that Mitsuo Kubo was a mere copycat killer.
Back up to yesterday. Remember when you said Namatame didn't have a motive to kill the announcer? That's what's bothering me.
Right. Either he's completely nuts, or we're misunderstanding something.
That too. Again, it's weird. If he had a motive, would have already been used to keep him as a chief suspect. The very fact he didn't was the only reason no one suspected him.
You lost me.
She's trying to say that if Namatame is sane, then there may be facts in the case we don't know about yet.
Exactly.
Sane or insane? Sounds like a play I saw before.
When he talks about saving people, what does that actually mean? I don't think there's any doubt that it includes kidnapping people and throwing them into the TV.
Could he mean saving them through death? He did call himself a savior and said that the other side is a wonderful world.
So they'll be saved if they die? What a bunch of crap! The bastard should have gone and saved himself. What do you think, Senpai?
Something else.
If you think about it normally, it's gotta be him. But there ain't nothing normal about that world anyways.
This is the classic presumption of information we don't have. We do not have enough information to go on. We definitively say one way or the other. We need more information.
There's something I've been wondering about for a while. When we first encountered him, he said, "You're the ones I saved. Don't worry, I'll save this girl too."
Exactly. Why would he say that if he believed that he was saved through death? Because then, and we know from his own dialogue in a scene or of just him and the officer, he sees Mayumi as he failed to save her. Which is also weird because it goes against what his shadow said in prior scene.
So, if he saves people by killing them, did he save us too? Wouldn't he actually have failed to save us?
You raise a good point. If he thinks that salvation comes only through death, his words to us make no sense. And another thing, the Namatame who appeared on the Midnight Channel said he failed to save Nanako-chan.
Well, maybe he really was trying to save the victims by putting them inside the TV. Come on, don't get all quiet like that. You guys know I just say the first dumb thing that pops into my head.
This raises a question that we had with Mitsuo. in which Mitsuo, where we came to the conclusion that if Mitsuo was the real killer, which everyone except me, because I saw it from our way, outside of my general memory of this game, if Mitsuo were the real killer, what if he didn't know the actual length of danger in the world? One could add that to Nanatame. Perhaps he didn't actually know because he'd never been there himself.
The possibility that he truly intended to save us.
But he's still the one who threw in Saki-senpai and that announcer, right? Sure, we haven't nailed down his motives, but that doesn't change the fact that he killed them. Or what? You think someone else was involved? What makes you think so?
Possibility of a culprit besides Nanatame. Could there be something that proves this possibility? Honest diary. Copycat's not related. Warning letter is a sticking point. Wife's alibi was fine. The warning letter.
Warning letter? Oh yeah. Whatever happened to that thing?
It was the only... So far, its only reason for existing. Put us on edge and get me taken to the police station for Nanako to get killed.
If Namatame's the killer, he must have been the one who wrote it, right?
Let's review them.
First one, warning letter, said, don't rescue anymore. Second one said, if you don't stop, someone close will be put in and killed.
Yes, that's right.
Isn't that kind of odd? Would someone who thinks he's saving people by killing them write stuff like, don't rescue or kill?
Would say, don't intervene.
Yeah,
Or,
and the will be put in and killed part doesn't make sense either.
Does it imply... So... Under the assumption that one is being saved, you wouldn't say put in and killed. Because that is salvation. That entire line can't make sense, even if it's slightly rewritten to be put in and saved. You are threatening something that apparently is a good thing. You can't threaten a good thing. Well, you can, but not like that. But you can't intimidate a person, something that you are considering a good thing, unless you explicitly know that it isn't.
If the killer was writing it, wouldn't it be more like, I'll put in and kill?
Hey, could this mean...
Natame didn't write it.
Yeah. It's almost like someone else wrote this letter.
A third-party observer.
But only the killer would write such a letter and deliver it to Dojima-san's house, right? If someone else wrote it, that could only mean...
Dear God. Since this is such an unusual case, I was absolutely convinced that other than the Kubo incident, there was one culprit.
So Namatame really was trying to save his victims?
Unaware that that was the means of which the killer actually committed his crime.
Everything is exactly the opposite of what it first seemed. In Namatame's parlance, failing would have been the first two cases when the victims died. If he had used his method twice and failed both times, he would hardly have continued using the TV, and yet he did.
Motive doesn't correlate.
It all seems to suggest that someone else wrote this warning letter while observing the entire case.
And only a limited amount of people have a purview where they can see all the pieces falling into place.
Someone else? Then, it wasn't Namatame that killed Saki-senpai and the announcer?
We can't say for certain yet. We urgently need to speak with Namatame face to face.
Need to get information. Judgment is always the fastest arcana to level up, because it represents the end game.
How though? After what happened yesterday, they said they're gonna tighten security.
I have a plan, but there's no time to waste. Let's hurry to the hospital.
Do you need a barracuda? I'll get a barracuda.
Hey, this place is off limits.
I'm a consultant with the police.
And you shall be judged
I'd like a few words with Namatame-san.
This is Unit 252, requesting confirmation on an ID. Name of Naoto Shirogane. Huh? Ah, understood. I see. Well, you're on the list. I can give you a few minutes, but I'll have to record your conversation with him for security purposes. Not that I expect you'll get anything coherent out of the guy. He's been spouting nothing but gibberish.
Gibberish to you.
I'd like him to accompany me as well. He has no identification, but this is an emergency situation, and he's here in Detective Dojima's stead.
Huh? Detective Dojima sent him? I wasn't informed of this.
I mean, of course you weren't. Dojima would probably give me a gun and say take it to his head.
I'll vouch for his identity.
Well, I guess it's better than dealing with the man himself.
Considering every time Dojima leaves his bed, he undoes his stitches or opens up his wounds or something.
We have our hands full with the transport procedures, so the last thing we need is Detective Dojima running wild. Detective Adachi is busy somewhere too.
Of course he is.
This is Unit 252. Huh? I see.
Has something happened?
There's something about a suspicious object out in the lobby.
Ah, well then, this works out nicely. You should back up your colleagues downstairs. We'll keep watch over Namatame-san.
What kind of suspicious
A
objects in the
disturbance
lobby?
in a hospital lobby, after all. It sounds serious.
Especially this close to a patient transfer.
If anything happens, hit the nurse call button. I'll leave the rest to you.
Understood. Please be careful. I knew they were undermanned, but I didn't expect it to go this smoothly.
Wow!
There's nothing much inside that suspicious object, so he won't be gone long.
All right, and now's our chance to talk to Namatame.
If we get caught, we're all going to jail, though. This is the second time we have been caught around the, around a suspected murderer.
Namatame-san, there's something we'd like to ask you. It's tempting to think that you were the culprit behind this entire case. And to be honest, there are many in this town who hope you are.
This fans of his work, really,
But
God.
we are here to learn the truth. So please, answer our questions.
Huh?
Quiet. I'm still turned. There we go. I was like, why am I constantly looking off to the side? Turns around from earlier showing off the model. Seems he understands what you're saying. We ask him. Who did you throw in first?
Huh? Me?
First victim after the murders. First kidnapping victim. Saving people is saving killing people.
No. If nobody saves them, they'll be killed. That's why I put them in there.
Yeah. Didn't realize the actual danger or that it was the original murder method. He didn't do it.
They were killed. I couldn't save them.
Then tell me if my estimation is correct so far. After discovering the Yamano and Konishi incidents, you realized an appearance on the Midnight Channel meant certain death. Thus, to save her from that fate, you kidnapped Yukiko Amagi. You couldn't let her be killed, so you threw her into the TV, preventing the killer in this world from reaching her. And you repeated the process, as more individuals appeared on the Midnight Channel.
We accidentally gave him the belief that he was doing the proper thing. Whoops.
It all falls into place. His body is weak, but his mind is sound. He's trying to tell us the truth.
Yeah, but if the stuff he's saying is true...
There's another killer who murdered the first two victims?
Yeah.
Indulge us in a few more questions.
We got an actual copycat and an accidental copycat. For the first two, do you have any knowledge?
I have no idea. I want to know that too.
Where are the warning letters?
What are you talking about?
Why did you enter the TV?
I didn't know. I never thought it would be that kind of place.
As I thought.
You believe me? Did they find him? Did they find the one who did such cruel things? Mayumi.
Please calm down. Our ability to find the culprit rests on you. We know about the other world. In fact, we're the only ones who can fully understand what you have to say.
Only you?
We did blame you for everything at first. But now I think we can accept whatever you got to tell us as truth.
Yeah.
Please,
Finally starting to piece together the loose ends.
tell us everything you can, calmly and slowly.
You're willing to listen? Do my story?
Yeah.
All right.
And now we get Natame side.
Soon after my affair with Mayumi became common knowledge, I returned to my parents' home, as if to run away from the scandal. And I started drinking heavily to drown my anxieties. I hadn't been able to reach Mayumi at all, and that didn't help either. Mayumi, where are you? She'd been disgraced on all the afternoon shows, and forced to resign from the program she was on. I caused her so much trouble. I wanted to at least apologize to her, but I couldn't even do that. I lost the will and energy to do anything. Then, one day, the rumor I heard some time ago came back to me. Since I had nothing better to do, I sat down blankly in front of the TV and watched my own reflection.
Where did the Midnight Channel even come from is the bigger question. Because he just said he heard a rumor. The reason we were watching is we heard a rumor. Like, how far back does the rumor go? Where did it start?
And all of a sudden, there was Mayumi. Mayumi? Is that you? The Mayumi inside the TV looked as if she was calling to me for help.
Because that's also weird. It's like, during the circumstances, I would have expected him just to go, it happened, you know? I was sitting there and I saw the Midnight Channel. And then I heard the rumor. No, this is still implying he knew the rumors, he was intentionally waiting for
Mayumi? Mayumi! When I reached out unthinkingly to touch her, my arm disappeared into the TV, as if I had dipped it into a pool of water. I was so shocked that I lost my balance and nearly fell face first into the TV.
I did that too, except I hit my head on the TV. It hurt. It hurt.
I was so scared. I couldn't understand what just happened. I thought maybe I'd gone insane. In the end, I decided to think of it as just a dream, and I went back to the city the next day after finishing work. The next afternoon when I got to work, I was fired on the spot, as I expected.
He was a politician, I believe. Yeah, scandal is real hard to come back from, especially in Japan, which is a very low tolerant. Like, you can do scandalous shit, but they have a very low tolerance for you getting caught.
That wasn't what broke me, though. It was Mayumi being found dead. And not just that, but it had happened in my hometown.
It's the worst part. In your hometown now being poisoned with the fact that the person you loved died there after your affair with them came to light.
I was dumbstruck. But later on, I remembered the image of Mayumi I'd seen that night. Was it not a dream? Could it really have been an SOS from Mayumi? I hadn't touched another TV because the first time was so terrifying, but I decided to try it again, and I confirmed that none of it was a dream. So that image, was it something Mayumi showed me, calling for help?
Different interpretation of what we interpret it. Because for us, we interpreted that it was asked to be rescued from the TV. Originally asking to be rescued, then an advance call before being captured.
That's how I felt.
And eventually, you learned of the Midnight Channel.
I remembered that when Mayumi was alive, she was chasing a rumor about some bizarre TV program. I'd heard about it before, but I thought it was just an urban legend.
Was chasing after the rumor of the Midnight Channel? Interesting.
But then Mayumi appeared on it, and later turned up dead. The more I thought about it, the harder it became to believe that the two events were unrelated. Soon after that, I came back to Inaba to answer the police's questions. I'd lost my job, and I wanted to know the truth of Mayumi's death for myself. Then, on another rainy night, someone else appeared on the Midnight Channel. It was a girl. She looked like she was calling for help, just like Mayumi. The first thing that came into my mind was, maybe this girl will be the next to die.
And that was Saki-senpai.
I'd been following all the news about Mayumi, so I noticed right away that she was the girl who found Mayumi's body. And if my hunch was right, she'd be the next victim. I didn't want her to die the way Mayumi did, so I desperately kept watching. I was consumed with the idea of rescuing her. Then, little by little, her image on the screen came into sharper focus.
It became sharper?
Wait, what?
How did you find out it was her?
After I came back, my father couldn't bear to see me in such low spirits.
It's never become sharper
and
for
gave
us.
me a job with the family business.
Well, it did that first time with Yukiko, but a lot of the times it didn't become sharper until someone else was taken, or right before it happened. Which is weird, because why... It implied that someone... It implies that someone actively knew the events as they were coming.
I met that girl when I delivered a package to the liquor store. After agonizing over it, I decided to meet her and told her to be careful. But that same night, on the TV, she looked as if she was being engulfed by some black shape. She was writhing in pain.
Her shadow probably killing her.
That's why I warned her. Why won't she pick up the phone? Come on, please! The next day, they found her dead.
Yeah, that would have been her shadow killing her.
I knew she was going to be murdered, but I couldn't save her. I blamed myself, thinking there must have been something I could have done. There was no one who depended on me. Nobody at work, not even my wife. Mayumi was the only one who accepted me for who I was. But she was murdered, and the same person killed another girl. I was beside myself. I couldn't forgive myself for doing nothing.
You really did love Miss Yamano.
Yes, from the bottom of my heart. Before I was married, my wife made it big in show business. I was happy for her, but it put a strain on our relationship.
They had pointed out, as part of the search for for the aspects of motive for Naratame and his wife regarding Mayumi, their relationship was already quite strained by the time the affair had come out. Like, they were almost pretty much almost at separation. So it was ruled out as a motive. So this does fit quite a bit.
I think I can kind of relate.
It was around that time when I met Mayumi. She was interviewing our candidate for the next election. She was a big-name announcer, but she only worked with local stations, and her attitude towards work was similar to mine. We both came from Inaba, so she was easy to talk to. I knew it was wrong, but I couldn't help getting intimate with her.
Yes, she's from here too.
She gave meaning to my life. Soon after Saki-san was found dead, yet another girl appeared on TV. That was you.
And that's where it begins. Huh?
She'll be kidnapped next. And murdered. I can't let her end up like Mayumi and that other girl. This time, I'm gonna do something. My opponent was a murderer who left no clues to his identity. I thought hard about what I could do to protect her from someone like that. I'll never convince her. If she gets suspicious and they arrest me, who'll save her then? The girl inside the TV looked as if she was smiling at me. And that's when it hit me. I apparently had the power to go through the TV screen to the other side. Then, what if I put her into the TV and give her shelter there before the killer gets her? What are you trying to tell me? That it's safe over there? Is that it? The girl inside the TV seemed to smile at me again. And I thought, no matter what kind of place it might be, it's better than being slaughtered.
Still a very odd scenario.
Once things calmed down, I could just let her out again. If she's inside the TV, there's no way they can find her. It felt as if everything was starting to come together in my mind. Could it be that Mayumi gave me that power to prevent any more victims from meeting her fate? Was it my mission to save people? But there was a big problem. If I explained the situation to the victim, they wouldn't understand. I had already tried that and failed miserably. It seemed the only thing I could do was to take them away. If that was my mission, I'd just have to do it. Or so I thought.
On the mission.
Please lend me your strength.
And thus began the kidnapping case.
So, since you thought people who appeared on the Midnight Channel would be killed, you kidnapped us in order to save us.
But he didn't realize that he was using the murder weapon.
Mission? Give me a break! You never stopped and wondered about any of this?
I thought I was the only one who could help them. I did call the police, but they didn't believe me.
The exact reason why we didn't tell the police.
I knew the area well, thanks to my job. I had a large truck, and I could move around without suspicion. I thought my job as a delivery man would be the perfect cover for my mission. I thought no one else could do it. But are you telling me that I wasn't saving them?
We use it again. He was using the murder weapon unintentionally.
If a person is still within the TV world when the fog appears here, they will die. Beginning with Yukiko-san, the people you thought you had been saving were, in fact, in mortal peril. It was my friends here who really saved us all.
I had a feeling that was it. When I went after that little girl and entered the TV myself, for the first time, I had some doubts about myself.
That's why you always should check shit.
You refer to Nanako-chan, correct?
The police were after me, so I had to get away. But I still felt I needed to do everything I could to save that poor little girl. That's why I went in after her. But the TV world was completely different than I imagined. Such an abominable, grotesque place.
Surprisingly, though, you saw one of the nicer ones.
I knew that the three of you who I saved went back to your normal lives, so I didn't realize how terrible that world was.
And again, see, it's a game of cat and mouse. For some reason, because we never crossed paths, he never knew. He just assumed he had been successful. They all had quite a showing. Yeah, they're quite a show.
You couldn't even get out of that place on your own. No, that's a cowardly way to put it. I'd probably already begun to realize that it was a dangerous place. If I hadn't, I wouldn't have gone to see you all.
See us? Wait, are you talking about the concert we did at Juness?
Right, he was there.
Yes. I wanted to know why the ones I saved were all hanging out with each other, and how much you remembered. But in the end, I couldn't bring myself to say anything and ran home. I must have felt too guilty.
Interesting enough, that's a golden exclusive event. This dialogue didn't originally exist. Someone pointed out that Naratame tried to come find out about things. Huh.
But all the doubts and anxieties I'd been unconsciously suppressing exploded out when I entered the television myself.
Yeah, you are an anxious man.
I thought I was going insane. I probably did.
Yeah, you probably had a mental break, dude.
And you know the rest. When I came to, I was lying in a hospital bed.
You really were trying to save people.
But I ended up doing just the opposite. What a fool. I always wanted to enter the world of politics and become useful to society.
Depending on what part of politics you get into, your ability to be useful to society is limited.
But after losing my job and the woman I loved, all I had left was this power. I convinced myself that world was some sort of sanctuary, and I secretly believed myself to be a hero.
Wow. Yosuke's like you.
I never doubted what I saw on TV, and believed everything was as I wanted it to be. I didn't think for myself at all. That's why I couldn't protect them.
Oof, that hurt. Yeah, because Yosuke literally admits that's why he went back to the TV world, more so than to discover why Saki had been killed. Like, that's a plot point he had to tackle at the beginning of the game. But now he has to watch someone else tackle that same plot point.
I'm to blame for all of this.
What's done is done. Look, people are alive, you at best you're attempted murder.
So.
Unprovable.
The things I've done are too serious to be brushed aside like that. I have no intentions of running away from my crimes. I'm prepared to face the consequences.
I think that's a good middle ground of saying, look, you kidnapped us, which almost became murder. But, yeah, they're not as guilty as you probably think.
Kidnapping is already a serious crime. And on top of that, I put all those lives in danger. I'm sorry.
The Midnight Channel and the other world, you can hardly be blamed for failing to understand them properly. We must apologize to you as well. Had we let our emotions blind us to the truth, we would have piled all the responsibility on you.
I guess from your point of view, people did stop dying once you started saving people. The more you did it, the more you really believed you were preventing their deaths.
Yep.
I'm such a joke.
We were playing into each other.
I'm sorry. I'm getting a little tired.
What are you all crammed in here for?
And we're arrested.
My apologies. We'll be leaving now.
Well, it was good knowing all of you. It's time to get handcuffs.
Wait. I beg you, please, find whoever's behind this. You children are the only ones who know about that world.
The plan.
It's all clear now. He never committed any murders. It was another party who threw the first 2 victims into the TV.
The police officer says, like, oh god, all these kids are crazy too.
Now get out of here! I told you, he's almost ready to be transported. We can't have anything else happen. Sheesh. I better not see you rascals here again.
And we're off. Nigate!
Nanako-chan looks like she's in pain. She's fighting for dear life.
This was the last place we saw Teddy, right? He was so worried about her.
That's the best way to counter surveillance, is to give them long, boring work.
How can he flake out like this when we have to find the real killer?
The police consider the matter closed. We'll have to do all the investigation from here on out.
Yep, we can't rely on Nadachi to give us police leaks. Gotta find the real killer and
Let's
end
revisit
it.
Saki-san and Miss Yamano's incidents and see if we can turn up fresh details.
But it's been over 6 months. Wouldn't the trail be cold by now?
I know, but we can't give up. We're the only ones who understand what's really going on.
Yeah.
And you never know. People might remember some things now because they've had so much time to think about it. Let's split up and talk to people all over town tomorrow. We'll meet up in the evening to discuss our findings.
I hope we can find out something about Teddy, too.
Still missing. Tomorrow you'll be going out to talk to people in town. This finally help uncover the information. Uncover the information. I'll bring you to the culprit. Try to go home early and sleep. Sounds nice. Buggy until the end of the eon. It's Monday! Today is the day off school. Today is the day the school was founded, so you have the day off from school. Investigate the town. Wonder if you'll be able to gather the information you need to catch the killer. Weird, the sort of equivalent date for my high school, we didn't get the day off, but we did get, there it is. But we did get an equivalation of a school fete on that day, and it was at the end of our second semester. At the end of our first semester, term 2. It's fun. I remember once spending a lot of time on the mic. Because I was playing... They had, one of those singing, PlayStation 2 games up. Okay, I can remember something happened. But we had a day off during... We had a few days off during a heat wave here, where it just got too hot to go to school. And nothing. Nothing in Semagawa. But out front of the house. You. Dog, still not looking healthy. Get some eggplant seed. Get some tomato seeds. Yeah. Yeah, we didn't have a lot of general day offs. Day offs was super rare. The dog looks super sus. Yeah, you can't see it, but the dog's like looking back and forth like, Is it last spring? I still wonder what happened. Deal, wasn't it? I was completely forgotten about that. Wow, I must be getting old. Okay. Oh god, the crazy people are getting crazier. I was talking with the old guy earlier, but he didn't even see me, what with the fog and all. The guy just ignored me and walked off. I know it wasn't personal, but it kind of hurt. Yeah, the fog's getting worse. The very fact that it's the fog from the other side makes it worse. I'll go. Yuki-chan? 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 Yeah, there was a dog. Okay, shit is not great. Murders. I'm seeing other strange people. All I hear from everyone is poison, poison, poison. I kind of got freaked out too. Wonder where I could buy a gas mask. I need to get one. Everyone already has one. Businessman has one. At home, I see news about the murders. I thought I'd stay out here and watch the sunset. Of course, I'm going to watch TV when I get home anyway. Even then, I can't see the sunset because of all this fog. I hate it. It's so depressing. Fair enough. Well, anyone's suspicious. Oh, I just realized, yeah, now I have that option, so I can walk. Going too slow. What's wrong with following the speed limit? Oh, wait, am I... No, that guy was gonna run you over, kid. Talking about how someone almost, someone got really pissed at him for slowing down during fog. You're actually meant to go below the speed limit if it's foggy. Or rainy. Slightly, not super. Go too slow, it gets not as good. Hey. One's got anyone suspicious on their mind. Yes? Or someone. I think he was just wandering around the shopping district. Why didn't you ask her? Here we go back. Question, is it actually you? Oh, that! Remember Saki Kanishi, don't you? You know, she passed away a while ago. Tell me how that Namatame person came to her one day and started spouting out all this craziness. Think about the TV. I wonder what that was all about. His relation to Saki. Hey, I don't know what you're implying, but you got it all wrong. Saki was a good girl. Just that people misunderstood her. Just referring to the time Namatame tried to warn Saki. Seems the thing about Namatame making advances on Saki was a misunderstanding. Now that would be a plot twist. I don't know. Wait, old man who wants a mission. I haven't found your call yet. I'm sorry, I haven't been doing in the TV world a lot. Be a big day sitting in there on my own time at some point. Agawa. Oh. Just general side questing. God fucking damn it. Suspicious. You, tell me. A lot of people come to our store, but I can't say anyone's particularly suspicious. Being a strange person, I don't know. Out in the country, if there's anyone strange walking about, everyone would know about it right quick. He is right. Basically have a limited amount of people of potential suspects. Okay. Remember your RPG training. Talk to everyone twice. Yep. Monday, so school's closed, so no going to the school anyway, so... Nation. Kill the old guy. Actually, wait. No more information on a suspicious person. Is there anyone at the shrine? For kids? Talk about kid stuff. Naruto, we're not finding anything. I've got an information. I went around, I've talked to everyone, no one's got new shit. Final lesson. Farewell to man. Can I talk to... There's only a dozen people living here. Yeah, it's out in the boonies. Yeah, you'll create stuff for me. Yeah. Okay, so... No point talking to shopkeepers. They won't give me any useful info. I talk to Yosuke again. I should double check the party members. Yeah, same. God, fucking on. Oh. I came in here because I was expecting a cutscene, maybe. Oh, push me in the right direction after everything. Something's different. Marie's nowhere to be found. And we got another poem. A piece of paper. Written in a horrible script, as if someone wrote it with their offhand.
Release yourself. Release yourself. From desire. From impulse. Logic and rationales are excuses for the weak. Release yourself. Your heart's voice. Your internal scream. In exchange for a lost voice, grab hold of your proof of life. Never let it go.
Must be another one of Marie's poems. Ah!
What is this?
What is happening to me? Why is this here? I put this in my pocket. It doesn't make any sense. It's gonna be, hey, don't read that. Consider it scumbag. Why would you read my heart's voice? No! It's not my heart's voice. Hush now, Marie. If you need to release your impulses, do it out somewhere else. Shut up. This is just...
Huh?
Huh? Impulses? Release? I will never let this go. Stop reading my stuff. Marie returns to her seat, quivering with either rage or embarrassment. Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh boy. That gave me 0 hit worth the trip. Didn't give me any of the information I needed though. No information on Teddy either. I just don't know. Wait, the bar. Not the bar, the liquor shop. Yep, nothing there. I think it's going back to Samagawa, but... Is there really nothing? I have to be missing something. I feel like I've gone through every possible step. Don't remember, lol. Yeah. Back to Junes. I've talked to everyone. I know the doggo. I don't think a dog at its height could probably do it. About the murders in general. Been to the shrine. I went there earlier. There were just 2 kids. One of them's the bug catching boy who's exclusive to Golden. Oh wait. Apparently that worked. Did I okay, whatever. Don't know. I guess I was meant to ask. I guess I never asked him if he knew anything about the murders. Just if he had seen someone suspicious. Weird. Meet up with your friends after you finish gathering information.
I'm seriously pooped. This stuff's a lot harder when you don't have a badge to flash. I walked around all day and didn't hear anything good.
It was the same for me. There was absolutely no talk about the case whatsoever, let alone the true culprit.
Ditto for me. Actually, in my case, I kept getting bombarded with questions and couldn't get them onto the main subject at all. The killer must be pretty good to have pulled this off without being seen by anyone in this small town.
It's not a time I already had a good cover, which was that he was a delivery man. The actual killer had to be someone equally invisible.
What should we do?
Well, 1 steak bowl, please.
That's not what I meant. But then again, I guess we might as well take a break. I'll have a crab and egg fried rice.
I'll have roast pork ramen with extra noodles.
Finish eating the dishes that you ordered.
Now that our tummies are full, let's share what we learned. Even
It wasn't much, sorry, I get that. Speak to everyone about the information you gathered today.
so, to sum up, there really was no new information. The end?
Seems so.
The police had an unusually large number of officers in their initial investigation of the first 2 incidents. To find facts that even they overlooked would be difficult indeed, now that over half a year has passed.
It's true, they combed through.
There wasn't a single report of suspicious persons being witnessed to begin with. Miss Yamano had ardent fans, whereas Saki-san didn't. But otherwise, the conditions are the same.
You know, every time I tried to ask about the case, everyone ignored me and kept ranting about the damn fog.
Yeah, that or the Midnight Channel. I asked around about Teddy too, but no one's seen him. Gee, I wonder where he could have gone.
It's getting worrying. The fog, we know the fog is the same as the other side. And we know from some of the dialogue before finals that people were seeing things like the town getting swallowed up.
Do you have anything, Naoto? Any new, deductions?
Without any new data to work with, there isn't much I can do. But there must be someone in town who meets all the criteria for this case. The killer must have a connection to both Saki-san and Miss Yamano, as well as be in a position to observe our actions periodically to some extent. Finally, it must be someone who could approach Senpai's house without arousing suspicion.
Because of the letter. If someone would have pointed out to us sooner or later who put the letter in, or noticed someone.
I need some fresh air before I give it more thought. I'll be outside.
The thing is, at least with Narutame's cover, he was able to, he could have put a letter in, you know, delivery slip. Like, hey, you weren't home, I'm putting this in, so, yeah, you know? At least, if it were here, that'd be understandable. Got this wrong. There is a red herring. It took me my third try, because they give you like a second chance. Like 3 tries to get this right, I think, the first time. I already know who it is. My memory is coming back at this part of the game, but even then, you look at all the logical points, and you know who it is.
It's
eventually.
snowing. No wonder it's chilly.
I'll math it together before I
It's
say
freezing
it.
out here. Maybe this'll help clear my head and get my deductive muscles flexing. Hey, is it snowing? Too bad the fog's so thick. The snow just gets lost in it.
Something we must have overlooked. The urgent that you get over this roadblock, roadblock facing you. The clues you need must already be in your hand.
What's the matter?
Then they go over everything you know one more time. The culprit had a connection to Mayumi Yamano and Saki Kunishi. By judging the warning letters, the culprit likely knows about the other side and what you did there. Highly likely they knew what Namatame was doing and stood back and watched. Who would know all these things? Another oddity is about in the case is that there were almost no witnesses. Both the warning letters seem to have been delivered directly to your house, but no one saw anyone suspicious. No one unnatural was seen around Mayumi Yamato or Saki Kunishi either. Despite the police dispatching an unusually high amount of officers to perform a thorough investigation, there must be someone in this small town who fits all the facts. The person who is most likely to be the culprit is... So, who else appears invisible during the first 2 cases? Here's the thing, Narutame's cover worked throughout all the cases because he was someone who was naturally invisible. Someone who had access to both victims would be overlooked. Then when someone else turned up, was able to push them in the right direction to do their dirty work for them. There are 2 people who fit this description. Ryotaro Dojima and Toru Adachi. Why do these 2 fit the profile? Naoto pointed it out just a bit ago. The police had an unusually large number of officers working this case. First case didn't. Because before that, Mayumi Yamato was simply being harassed about information about her being part of the affair with Narutame, which she was staying at the inn for, and was pointed out that the inn was getting a lot of harassment and the police had to help out. Police were present at the inn during the time that she disappeared before her body subsequently appeared. Saki Kunishi is the same thing. The news station did a piss-poor job of protecting her identity sensor bar, and so people were trying to get her. Police had access to her too as the witness of the body from the first case. What we know, though, is it can't be Dojima, because if it was Dojima, why would he go to such the lengths he did if he knew if the ultimate aim was trying to get Nanako killed? On top of the fact, after doing his social link, I can't imagine Dojima would let Nanako be killed. Even though the events lined up for him to take us to the station, and Nanako was kidnapped subsequently. Same thing with the warning letter. He could have dropped it off, walked away, Nanako got the mail, and then he came back. Same can be said about Adachi. Adachi comes to our house all the time. He drops off Dojima. He has to be at least decently known by our neighbors as a usual. Plus, there's all the times Dojima comes home while we're already asleep. Does Adachi come with him? Maybe he does, just for a little bit. Perhaps they carpool, we don't know. But it does give him the same level of access. Also, compared to Dojima, outside of Dojima's personal conflict, Dojima has been really hard-ass about leaking information to us. Adachi leaks information to us every time we talk to him. There has not been one point where Adachi has not given us the ability to do a thing. Including when we went to Narutame's room the first time after Nanako's, when Nanako first died. He went with the cops even though someone should have stuck around. Either himself or another cop while he went. But he didn't. Toru Adachi. Of course, you can't completely look... If you look only at the circumstances, you can't completely rule out that possibility. Adachi may have been able to keep his eyes on your action. He would have been able to approach your house with ease. He knows the area well. Thinking about it, you encountered him many times while investigating the case. You learnt about the police movement from Adachi as well. There's no exact reason to doubt him, but something is bothering you. Speak Adachi's name.
Huh? What about him?
Or hear me out, the doggo. I mean, the fox seems to know a lot.
Detective Adachi. A member of the police force. That is an interesting approach. It would certainly explain the lack of witness reports.
Also, we know that Adachi isn't very, at least from Dojima's point of view, but possibly other point of views, Adachi isn't very well liked. As a, well, not liked, but he's not considered like a go-getter or anything.
It's the same reason no one ever reported seeing Namatame's truck.
This is a small town, so everyone must have known who he is. And since he's a detective, people definitely wouldn't have thought of him as being suspicious.
Exactly.
In fact, he could use his position to his advantage and hide critical information.
Huh. Well, if you think of it that way, I guess it's possible.
And it also explains why no one found any evidence from the first two. Well, Narutame was from Yukiko onward. Mayumi and Saki could have vanished without a trace. They're just beyond the police's purview.
But we're talking about Adachi here, right? I mean, really? Adachi? He's your textbook lousy detective.
Almost too lousy.
Are we really on the right track here?
Actually, regarding Detective Adachi, I'm not sure how to put it, but there's something that's been bothering me about him for some time now.
Yeah?
Perhaps it's just my imagination, so I shouldn't speak too...
Aww.
It's cold. I think we've cooled down enough here. Let's go back in.
And like that, we've come to a conclusion.
Adachi-san? That can't be. I mean, he said he came to escort Ms. Yamano and...
Opportunity.
What? Was he at your inn when the announcer was staying there?
When Miss Yamano was staying at our inn, the media were swarming all over it.
And now we have opportunity for him.
That's when Adachi-san arrived, saying he'd been assigned to guard her. He told our waitress that fame could be rough.
Guard her? He didn't spend the night there?
Huh.
And then she went missing. Well, she had a police guard?
I wonder if he knew Ms. Yamano.
I don't know about that, but I heard he did call out to a girl in my class. I found out this afternoon, but I thought, you know, that's just how cops are. So I didn't think it had anything to do with the case.
Detective Adachi also questioned Saki-san, the one who found the announcer's body, on numerous occasions.
He didn't hide his evidence as hot. Again, we had to go out on a limb to get this information. And we would only reach this place by reaching this place. So I guess he didn't consider that. The only reason we even have this information is because we have Naoto. Without Naoto, we would have never had access to the police information specifically, such as who actually questioned Saki.
I heard it was because there was so little information about the case at the time, but it's certainly unusual to question someone with as strong an alibi as hers multiple times.
Then you think he had something else on his mind?
And that something is what connects those two victims to Adachi-san? Come to think of it, we've been running into that guy a lot, in all sorts of places. And every time he'd tell us what the police were doing before saying, "Oops, I said too much," and clamming up.
Exactly. Overwhelmingly lazy textbook detective.
Was that all to throw us off the trail?
It would be no problem for him to drop that warning letter into your mailbox either. Not to mention the fact that he can destroy any evidence that might point to him.
Various peculiarities have begun to cast a suspicious shadow on Adachi.
Then, is it really Adachi-san?
Need to confirm this.
This is still only a tentative theory. We should work to confirm it as soon as possible.
Yeah.
This is Naoto Shirogane. Something has occurred to me about the case, and I'd like to get Detective Adachi's input on it. Huh? The transport? It's right now? Right, I see. Thank you.
What was that about a transport?
Now, Nanatame's getting moved.
Detective Adachi is headed to the hospital to prepare for Namatame's relocation. We must head there at once.
Things are moving quickly now. You feel you're getting closer to the truth. Judgment. Moving a day at a time. Hey, Adachi.
Huh? What are you guys doing here? Hey, do you know where Dojima-san went? They told me he snuck out of his room again.
Wouldn't he just go to Nanako's room?
I assure you, we've made it clear to him several times that he needs to stay put, but he keeps going off on his own.
I feel like you should just keep a nurse in Nanako's room.
Jeez,
He would turn up
with
eventually.
Namatame finally relocated, I was looking forward to going home.
So, he's been relocated. I've been wondering, you seem to be in a terrible hurry to get him out of this hospital.
Huh? Oh, well, yeah. I mean, we can't leave him here with Dojima-san and Nanako-chan around. Didn't you guys think so too? Hey, what are you doing here anyway? Nanako-chan's room is in the other wing. Don't you think you should leave before Dojima-san finds you? If he catches you, he'll start pestering you again.
Hey, Dojima.
Adachi, where's Namatame? There's been a lot of noise today for some reason.
Dojima-san, what are you doing here? Namatame's already been relocated. I was looking for you so I could tell you that.
You did what? Who authorized that? There's still more I need to ask him about.
Give me a break, Dojima-san.
Be fair, Dojima. Technically, you can't... Like... For like a second, can I point out that... If he questions Nanatame, doesn't that put him on the clock? And he's currently, like, on injury leave. Like, whoever actually manages paychecks for the police officers has to be having a fucking nightmare for everything Dojima does when he should not be on the clock.
Those first two murders have been bothering me. His motives are shaky and his alibi is rock solid. We closed a lot of loopholes on the basis of his testimony. that part's still nagging at me.
Is this more of your detective's intuition? He's already been relocated. It's no use hassling me about it. And you kids should really get home too. You're gonna get in the way of police business.
And he's gone aggressive.
What's gotten into you today? It's odd to see you taking work so seriously.
Oh, oof.
Come on, I'm always giving 110% when it comes to the job.
You are not. And actually, our social link so far is literally because you are looking for reasons to get out of work.
You should get back to work too, Dojima-san. Your current assignment, get better as soon as possible.
Even though Jima's up behind that shit.
What are you all doing here?
We came to confirm something with Adachi-san.
Question Adachi. Yamano vanished.
The time the announcer went missing? I can't say for sure offhand. It's not like I saw her or anything. That was months and months ago too. My memory's kinda hazy that far back.
You came to guard her. Saki's interrogation.
Why wouldn't I question her? She discovered the announcer's body. But she didn't know much about it, so I only talked with her once or twice.
Repeatedly, actually.
Was that all you wanted to ask? Well, I hope it helped.
Naoto, please hand me the files. What do you mean we don't have the files? What do you mean those are police jurisdiction? You need to question Adachi about the warning letter.
Warning letter?
The one that was delivered to his house. It's in police custody now, correct?
I don't really remember.
Hey, what do you mean you don't remember? I gave it to you to take down to the crime lab for processing. You're telling me you forgot?
I'm sorry. Your accident was right after that, and what with one thing and another, it sort of slipped my mind.
If he's the culprit, he doesn't want it to go to forensics. There's a good chance his fingerprints will be found on it. Adachi's done a lot of shit where he's been able to get away with it because he burns his own trail. Free mind he has.
Besides, that thing was just a prank, wasn't it? Jeez, what are you asking me all this for?
You're getting defensive.
For crying out loud, what's this all supposed to be about? Dojima-san, you really need to get back to your bed. That's why your wounds aren't healing. And you all need to go home right now. Do you have any idea what time it is?
9:30.
I'm going back. I need to get to the station and report in.
I'm gonna burn evidence.
Just one more thing, please. We know for certain now that the first two murders weren't Namatame's doing. Someone else killed them. Adachi-san, do you have any idea who that might be?
Oh, dropping the bomb.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
'Cause we think it might have been you.
What? That's ridiculous.
You think it was Johnny Young Bosch?
We already know Namatame's the one who put them all in.
You can't see it, but I just put the whiteboard marker in my hand and I'm pointing at that dialogue. We caught him, folks, because none of the police believe his story about putting him in.
What did you just say?
Not a single police officer.
Put them all in? What's this putting them in business? Do you know something about the method behind their murders? Don't tell me that all that talk about TVs and whatnot from before was...
I see. Now I finally understand.
Nanatame called the police. They could not help.
To tell the truth, Adachi-san, I've been fixated on something you once said. Before I didn't know why, only that it sounded a wrong note to me. Do you recall when I read Namatame's diary? At the scene of Dojima-san's accident. At the time, I said, even the victims who survived and were never released to the public are written here. And in response, your words were, wow, then that settles it. How, I wonder, would that settle anything?
Oh, that is a weird
At the time,
statement.
the police had no idea that there had been other attempted murders related to the case.
Oh, right. Because they just considered it... Because Yukiko's kidnapping was just considered a runaway. Hanji's wasn't given any mind because of his history. Rise's was a worry, but it was still inconclusive. And Naoto's was also considered just a general disappearance of... That was... I think that later she just covered up herself.
You had no reason to say such a thing. After all, there are countless examples of people disappearing for a few days. Yet when I read the list of names, you raised no objection. Odd that.
Holy crap, that is.
What
That's
do
a
you
good
say
point.
to that, Detective Adachi?
I don't know. I said I'm busy.
And he ran.
Wait, you son of a bitch! Adachi! Ah, damn it!
Dojima, you really should just be in a wheelchair the whole time.
Adachi!
You cannot afford to keep ripping open your stitches. He's gonna have a scar or several at this rate. By the time his hospital room, Dachi isn't here either.
What the? I swear he ran this way.
Damn it! Where the hell did he go?
Did you find him?
No.
I contacted security. Nobody's seen Adachi, and there's no record of anyone leaving this area. So he must be still in this ward somewhere.
He's still here? But we looked! We didn't find him anywhere!
That bastard.
Dojima-san? For heaven's sake, what are we going to do with you?
Sorry, I'm just drinking of something.
Sorry. I got carried away.
Do you even want to get better? If you keep this up, there could be lasting damages. Have you forgotten how much trouble it caused you last time?
You're right. Sorry. You've got to find Adachi. I need to square this away with him. Please.
Well, I'm just considering that this is why Adachi's social link goes up, but what's going to be different in the Golden compared to the original now that there's a social link attached to him? Because there wasn't before.
He hasn't left this ward yet? I don't think he would, but could he have...
Yeah, I think so. If he's the killer, he can go through, right?
You mean he went in through here?
We searched every inch in the direction he ran off. There's nowhere to hide. I don't think we could have missed him.
He was cornered. It's highly probable that he escaped there. If he does indeed turn up on the other side, that should prove beyond a doubt that he is the true culprit.
Damn. So I guess we were right. What do we do now?
Go tomorrow.
I think it's too dangerous to go in from here.
We still haven't found Teddy.
We're not 100% positive he used this TV, and on top of that, we don't know where it might lead. Let's go in from Jeunesse like always. It'll be fine. So long as we're ready for him, we'll crush that jerk in one strike.
The extremely suspicious detective Adachi. Taking another step closer to the truth. Huh. 2 levels in one day. That's a rarity. All went home. All went home. And I'm gonna save. Yeah. Ooh. Oh, Nanako's sticker. Right, because I can't talk to Nanako herself. Be useful for the side quest. I did that by accident. Eddie! This. Seems you've come to the Velvet Room in your dreams again. Something's different this time. You don't see Igor, Margaret, or Marie. Eddie's sitting here, not noticing your presence.
Where am I?
Eddie.
Sensei? Why are you here?
Why are you here is the better question. Ask you the same.
I see. How mysterious. There are so many things I don't know about. But I did realize something. I've been thinking all this time about who I really am. But I couldn't find the answer. I was no one from the start. Humans live in the other world, and shadows live in this world.
Couldn't bear it anymore.
From the beginning, that's all there was to it. I was just a shadow in that world.
A very unique shadow, one with ego. Get here.
I figured something out. That day at the hospital, I realized that I really can't do anything. As soon as I thought that, I lost consciousness. Then when I woke up, I was inside the fog. Shadows can't stay in the human world. They aren't allowed.
You're more than a shadow, though.
I walked and walked, but there was nothing all around me. Just when I started thinking that I couldn't go anywhere, I heard the noise of a car. I remember and then I was here. I remember lots of things now. My world is a place shaped by human thoughts. One day, a shadow living in that world awakened to human emotions. But humans and shadows are completely different entities.
Are we really? Really come down to it. One is an abundance of emotion. You are one of positive.
So he made himself forget that he was a shadow. He wanted to forget. He wanted people to like him. And that's how he came to look like this. I really am stupid. What the other Teddy said before, in the end, it was all true.
Only for the moment, you defeated him and became something more.
No matter how much I search for myself, I have no self. There was no me to begin with. I'm just a shadow that took a different form so humans would like me. It would have been better if I had never remembered, but I did. I'll probably turn back to a regular shadow soon. Oh yeah, Sensei, one day, when you meet Nana-chan in heaven, apologize for me.
Nana's alive.
I'm sorry I couldn't do anything.
Mr. Miracle, mate.
Tell her I'm really sorry.
Nanako saved her, Teddy.
Huh? Really?
Told Teddy about how Nanako came through.
Nana-chan's. Wow, that's wonderful. I'm so glad.
You used to have a promise.
Glad that I could at least hear that.
Back, Ted.
My heart feels so much lighter now. I'm starting to feel sleepy. What a strange place. It feels so soothing. It's not like my world. Something just feels so nostalgic about this place. Could this be your dream world, Sensei?
Something like that.
But I wonder why I met you here.
Nothing that happens in the Velvet Room ever happens by accident.
What am I supposed to do now?
Let's move on together.
But I don't know what to look for or how to find it. No matter how hard I think, there's too many things my little brain can't understand. But I do understand one thing now. I'm glad that I met you, Sensei.
Aw. He sends Teddy's pure and deep gratitude. Star is Max. Hello. 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 Alright, Teddy. Fade electricity. You already have. Time travel shenanigans.
But I have to get going. This is your place. It doesn't seem like somewhere that I'd be allowed to stay. Goodbye, Sensei.
Well, you know it, Teddy is gone, and Igor, Margaret, and Maria sitting there once again.
It seems the words in your memory weren't the only things you summoned here. This is a room for guests who have an ego that can be nurtured. Shadows, mere fragments broken off from the ego, have no place here.
Basically confirmation that Teddy is more than he thinks he is.
The water's strength has moved a single stone that had stopped, returning it once again into the flow. Very interesting.
The implication there is that whoever is, whatever fragments made Teddy to begin with, eventually reunited with him, allowing him to do that reversal. Igor has a meaningful smile on his face.
Well now, it's about time we departed once again. This vehicle is still on its journey. There is no reason to tarry here for long. Margaret?
We're ready to go. Let us depart.
I didn't even realize, uniquely, the yellow...
You are every inch the guest I had anticipated.
I was thinking about it when I looked at the windows. You could see the fog going down against the windows rather than going across blue flare, but now it's back.
Now, it's time for you to return.
You were literally stopped.
I am even more intrigued now as to where this is all headed.
We'll be waiting for your next visit.
Nice electronics department.
How did it go? Did you find Teddy?
No, and no one's seen him either.
Oh, that annoying little furball. Just when we're at a turning point in the case, too.
We have no choice. Let's pursue Adachi for now.
Whoa. Look how dense this fog is. It's gotten even worse than before.
Also, apparently, I'm looking this up because I was thinking, there's an ending I could have gotten back there. Another early ending. Apparently, I missed a trigger for Adachi's socially.
What the?
Weird.
There's this malicious aura everywhere. It feels completely different from the last time I was here. I think we'd better hurry. Give me a sec to try finding Adachi.
Does this mean both this world and ours are getting messed up?
Our glasses work on the fog on the other side. It can't be normal. And I heard more people are falling ill because of the fog. I wonder what's going to happen.
I sense him. Adachi's definitely in here.
Are you serious? Which way?
Hold on.
So he did come to this side. Well,
Yeah.
that settles it. There's virtually no doubt remaining that he's the true culprit. Once we capture him, solving the mystery of this world and the rest of the case can't be far behind.
Then maybe we'll find out where Teddy came from too. Man, where is that bear anyway?
Well, I can say for sure he's not here. And I know Adachi is here, but I can't track him down myself. Gee, Ted, why aren't you here when we need you most?
Eddie,
This place. I see.
back where you left.
I came back, but it really doesn't matter. I'm completely useless. Nana-chan, I'm so sorry.
Teddy? It is you, Teddy. I heard your voice. You said, hang in there. I heard my big bro and everyone else too.
Nana-chan! Oh, hold on! I'll get the doctor!
It seems she's asleep again.
Nana-chan told me that she heard my voice. She heard me say, hang in there.
It could be that her frankly miraculous recovery was because everyone's voices reached her. Even unconscious, people are capable of hearing others' voices.
My voice. And theirs too. Everyone.
In any case, there are too many things we don't understand about her condition and what caused it. We're doing our best, but it's difficult when everything about her illness is a total unknown.
Unknown.
Well, if anything happens, please send for me.
If I'm an unknown being, then the way I can change is unknown too. So all I have to do is make them not unknown. Nana-chan's doing her best. Sensei and the others are probably fighting now too. I'm just a shadow. But Nana-chan cheered up when she heard my voice. So what if I'm just a shadow? There must be something I can do. I can't just give up thinking about things. That's why I came back here. Right, Nana-chan?
Here it is, the change of heart, change of form, true power. Today's persona has been reborn, and I accidentally skipped the name.
Right.
Kamui. Get back to the others.
Hang in there, Nana-chan. I'll be back soon.
It's no use. I can only tell that Adachi is here, not his exact location.
Rise-chan!
If only Teddy was with us.
Didn't he say his nose is practically useless now? And could he even help us find that bastard?
Nope. He'd be no help at all.
We'd be less
But
worried.
he was always there to support me whenever.
That bear's a loudmouth, but he's nice to have around. He's always so full of energy.
He's lighthearted and always optimistic.
I'm alright. I just got a little dizzy. The fog's so dense, it's hard to see through it.
Why don't we call it a day? It won't do us any good if you collapse.
I agree. If Rise-san became fatigued, even if we found Adachi, our capacity in battle would be reduced. Moreover, it's almost nighttime. We should return to our world for the present.
Damn it! We came so far to run smack into a dead end.
Yep.
I know he's in there too. What's wrong with me? My powers are completely useless. Teddy?
And he's there.
Little, where the hell were you?
I'm sorry.
You idiot! Bad bear! Bad! You're so late! Who do you think you are?
Rise-chan? Are you faking?
No, stupid!
Sorry. I want to help you all again.
You know how much trouble you caused, you dumb bear? Where the hell were you?
I'm sorry. I figured out a lot of things. Stuff about me and that world. I wanted to tell you all.
Listen to Teddy's confession. He finally understands who he really is. That he was only a shadow. That he was able to, though he was at his wit's end, and that though he was at his wit's end, he was able to come back to your world.
A shadow? You mean you're one of those things we've been fighting?
Yup. Just like the ones you all know about. Shadows are suppressed human thoughts given form. Everyone has them inside.
Wait, you say you're a shadow, but you didn't attack us. And you kept telling us from the start that you wanted to bring peace and quiet back to that world, right?
But in the end, I was just an ordinary shadow. Nothing special about me at all. I did everything I could until now to try and make my world peaceful. But instead, the weird fog started seeping out into this world too. I'm sorry. I'm really sorry. If I really was special, then maybe...
It's no big deal. I mean, we weren't expecting much from you in the first place. And about you being a shadow, we pretty much figured you were something like that anyway.
Yeah.
Huh?
There was a level of that.
What are you saying? Here I am pouring my heart out to you, and you say you thought I was something like that anyways? No normal person would think such a pretty bear could really be a shadow.
So what's the problem with being a shadow?
It's true that you may have been born that way, but you now possess the power of persona. A shadow is suppressed power. Once controlled by the ego, it becomes a persona. Doesn't it follow, then, that you must have developed an ego?
Yeah.
Whether the ego masters its shadow, or the shadow awakens to its ego. The only difference I see is the order in which the process occurred.
Oh, Teddy's practically human then.
I'm the same as humans?
At the end of the day.
You keep trying to figure out who you are, just like all of us here. You can't do much on your own. You really aren't that special. See? What's so different between you and us?
Thank you! I'm so glad I met you guys!
Glad we met you too, Ted.
The rest of us were pretty much a group of misfits to begin with, too, right? You fit right in, man.
I beg your pardon? Who are you calling a misfit?
Isn't that just you, Senpai?
Hey, that's not something a detective would say. Or an idol, either. Gee, stop crying, will ya? Now's not the time for that. While you were gone, we figured out who murdered the announcer and Senpai. It was Adachi.
Yep.
Huh? Adachi? That total goofball?
Yep.
Whoa! I didn't notice at all. Looks like I'm pretty blind to that sort of thing. But you all know him. If you can't find someone like that, I don't think I can help you.
Like I said, we're not expecting much from you.
Oh.
Well, the main thing is, it's hard to get pumped about this without someone nice and fuzzy around.
Yeah, Yeah, what Kanji said.
Okay. Thanks, guys.
All right, now that the band's back together, let's take it from the top. Starting tomorrow.
It's been a while, but I'll do my best to look for him too. Leave it to Fuzzy.
Taking another step closer to the truth. Thanks. Yep. We have a fresh start again tomorrow. Each of you decide to go home for the day. Check something. Hey, no, he was at rank 6. What the fuck, game? That's why none of this shit triggered. Huh? Okay. On that discovery, I'm going to... I have solutions. I'm just gonna do what I did last time. With, the last time we had this problem like this. I'm going to, I'm gonna start the whole game over again and play in the background. Welcome to my death. Either way, we're finishing for the night, because that's another long... What I'll do is play through the game, get everything basically back to the same level. So Persona will be going on a break for a while. Get a closing. Persona will go on a break for a while. And I will, Persona will go on a break for a while, and I will go to, I will work through everything again. And then what I'll do is I will film and cut together a supplemental of all the new stuff that occurred on this new timeline, if you will. You can catch on YouTube, on the YouTube archive. That's what I'll do. And then we'll pick up exactly where we left off tonight with the new supplemental. So, a new timeline, yeah, pretty much. Because I don't want to get to the end of the game and redo it all, especially because Adachi Social Link is a big part of Golden. It's something that I've never experienced, and I don't want to have to play the whole game again just to experience it. So now, again, in a new game, I could just skip through a lot of stuff, but what I can do is I can go back. What I can do is I can go back to when we were about to hit that bad ending. Trigger that bad ending, because you can get New Game Plus from it. And then use the New Game Plus to essentially just push past everything. And then, yeah, we'll just see how the new timeline checks out. Will the timeline be harder? Probably. If I do it New Game Plus, yes. If I don't, no. We'll see. We will see that. Anyway, I will catch you guys later. I'm gonna send you off to Ducky. Raid channel. There'll be a stream tomorrow. It will not be Persona. For obvious reasons. Yeah, Persona will be considered until I can get that stuff set up. It might take a while because I have to do it in my free time. Until that shit's set up, Xenoblade will be making a comeback then. So, look forward to that. Anyway, good night, everyone. Hope you like the new model. Sorry about the disappointment that I apparently didn't even realize I didn't finish. I swear he was at rank 6 at some point. Maybe when I had to, do a certain part of it's about the time of time travel, of the first time travel glitch. I sort of had to go back. There were points where I had to go back to previous save files for one reason or another. Must have got him up to 6 and then forgotten or something. Or maybe I never did and I just forgot. There's a lot of reasons why. Either way, I'll see you when I see you when I get that sorted. for you in the archive, look forward to the supplemental. And then back to normal schedule afterward. Good night. Bye-bye.